Rail fanning Kansas City Southern in the 21st century can be summed up fairly easily. A lot of GEVOs, ACEs, with a Mack or AC44 sprinkled in the mix. Growing up in this era has made this generation of rail buffs quite used to the sight of these engines on a daily basis. But you gotta remember that these units haven't been the staple for rail fanning for previous generations of rail photographers. This will be the first installment of What Once Was, a series focusing on what the railroads of North Louisiana were like before its present state. We'll be focusing on entire preceding railroads, specific locations, and like with this episode, specific locomotive models. In today's video, we'll be focusing on what was just as common on KCS as a GEVO is today, the F units. The F unit locomotive is often viewed as the most popular or at least recognizable diesel locomotive in North American railroading. The distinct cabs and car bodies are still being used in media today. The iconic locomotives are among some other locomotives such as the early GP7s and GP9s that were the top locomotives to bring the steam era to a close. Viewed often as passenger locomotives, the Fs were designed to pull heavy freight loads. The F actually stands for freight. That doesn't mean that they weren't capable of passenger service. These locomotives were the staples of many iconic passenger trains including the Super Chief, the Empire Builder, the North Coast Limited, and many more. With countless railroads seeing the success of the various F-unit models, the locomotives would be produced by the thousands and Kansas City Southern would have its fair share of F3s and F7s. So when we think of KCS and F units in the same thought, we automatically think of their business train led by FP9s number 1, 2, and 3. Though these weren't originally built for KCS. Instead, they were of Canadian national heritage like many of the preserved F units you see today. KCS actually owned a total of 79 of different F units for passenger and freight service. This includes both A and B units. The main difference in the passenger and freight F units was that the passenger units were equipped with the steam boilers to supply heating for the passenger cars.